Hello. Welcome to my channel. This is Coach Meng, your mentor and partner for making learning so much fun by making difficult topics easy and easy topics a lot easier. Okay, so this is part 2 of how to answer syllogisms, and our focus in this tutorial is on statements that starts with the word some. And of course, we will still have to include statements that starts with the word all, as we have discussed in part 1. Okay, so as we have said in the previous video or tutorial, we have to have the perfect mindset for logical reasoning, especially those that involve syllogism, where we treat statements as absolute rules that is not based on your common sense or your previous knowledge, or simply saying that you have to ignore real-world truth. And of course, to help your brain to process or visualize the relationship of the information or data, we encourage you to follow the technique that is going to be taught to you here in this tutorial, which is the use of the Venn diagram. Alright, so to begin with, let's start with this example. How do we illustrate using the Venn diagram the statement, some law enforcers are detectives? Okay, so since it says law enforcers and detectives, these are your two variables or events that you need to show by the diagram. Okay, so if we are going to follow the same symbols that we have used in the previous video, we will use a circle for the first event, and then a triangle for the second, and a square or a rectangle for the third. So it says some law enforcers are detectives. Therefore, if we're going to draw the law enforcers to be the circle, and some of them are detectives, then we are to expect a part where the triangle and the circle would intersect. Ayan, okay. So this would be your detectives. Okay, so this intersection here are the law enforcers, which are also detectives. Okay, now let's try to review a statement using the word or starting with the word all. Okay, so here we're going to draw a diagram that involves the variables, detectives, and trained investigators. Okay, so all detectives, so if detectives would be in the circle, so it says all detectives are trained investigators. So let's say, for example, that your trained investigators would be the square, then we know that all of your detectives, which is the one in the circle, should be inside the square. Alright, now, if these two statements appear in a single problem, how do we draw the illustration? Okay, so let's go over some law enforcers are detectives. So you have your circle, which involves your law enforcers, and we have the detectives, which we illustrated using a triangle. Okay, now says that all detectives are trained investigators. This simply means that the whole of our triangle is supposed to be inside our rectangle or our square, where we can find our trained investigators there. All right, now this is how it looks like. So again, there is an intersection between the law enforcers and detectives, which is here in the middle. And then, of course, take note that it says all detectives, which is the triangle, are trained investigators. So this whole triangle is supposed to be inside the square. Alright, so there is no other interpretation for these two statements. And now we are ready to answer a problem that involves these two statements given a conclusion. Okay, now we can make our own conclusions based on these drawings. So first, what other conclusion can we draw from that? That some, okay, we can say that some law enforcers, which are the ones in the circle, are what? Trained investigators. Okay, what else? That some trained investigators, okay, the one in the square, some of them are what? Detectives. Okay? And that some trained investigators are law enforcers. There. And what else? Oh, there. That some, which are outside the trained investigators, some law enforcers are not, there you go, trained investigators. There. And so forth and so on. All right, now let's try to look at a problem that involves these two statements and given the conclusion. All right, so let's just quickly recall our drawing. Some law enforcers are detectives. Okay, and that all detectives are trained investigators. All right. So with that, let's take a look at the conclusion given in the problem. It says some law enforcers are trained investigators. Now, so your focus would be the law enforcers. So let's put a color for the law enforcers and see if there is a part of the law enforcers inside the square. Is there a part of the circle that is inside the square? Yes po. Alright, so this is definitely true. There you go. So you see how your illustration can help you answer the question or identify if the conclusion given is true, false, cannot be determined, or letter D. Okay. Next we have all crimes are punishable acts. Okay, all crimes are punishable acts. So how do we, what are our variables? We have crimes and punishable acts. So it says all crimes are punishable acts. So we put crimes inside the circle. And then you have your triangle, which is where you can find all your punishable acts. Okay, and then it says some punishable acts are felonies. Okay, so felonies would be in square, so you can have a square here, which is your felony, which includes just a part of the punishable act, but take note that it is also very possible for us to have a square in this part where, okay, so now this is an illustration of when we have two possible graphs or drawings for felonies. Why? Because, okay, let's try to see. Let's take a look at the first one. Okay, so it says some punishable acts, which is the triangle, are felonies. So if you see this part where we have our square here, okay, this is the part where you have your punishable acts, which are also felonies. And this is correct. Okay, this is correct. Now, let's take a look at the other position of your square or the rectangle. So it says some punishable acts are felonies. So where is your punishable act? That includes all of the triangle. Take note. Okay. So now we try to shade the part of the triangle that is inside the square. So do we have some of the triangle inside the square? Yes. And that there is a part of the crimes that are also inside the square, which is very possible. Okay, so what I mean is you cannot limit the size of the felonies as long as it does not cover the whole of the punishable acts. It can be as big as something even bigger than this. Okay, so that these two possible drawings or illustrations are correct. Okay, so based on that, if we were to answer the question, the next question, so again, so we have your crimes, and then you have your punishable acts, okay, and then we had your felonies, and another here for the felonies, okay. So let's focus on the conclusion. So it says, some crimes are felonies. So which is our focus? Our focus would be crimes. Okay, so let's color the crimes so that you can see clearly. So what you want to look for is that if some of the crimes are felonies, Okay, or in terms of the shape or the location, we should see that some of those in the circle intersects with the square or the rectangle. In this position, crimes and felonies do not intersect, but here on the second position, they do. Okay, so if one of them does and the other does not, then it cannot be true nor false, but you cannot determine because it is indefinite. Okay, you have no definite answer whether that conclusion is true or not. All right, there we go. So this is an example where we have two positions for one variable and that we have a check and an x, therefore it cannot be determined. Now, what if both are x's? So meaning it doesn't agree with the illustration on both positions of felonies, then the answer would be false. But if both are checks, then the answer would be true. Okay, so syllogism part 2. Busted. Okay, so reminders once again, when answering syllogism questions, you should have a mindset reset. And you have to learn to practice illustrating the diagrams accurately because these diagrams are your best friends in answering the questions or identifying if the conclusion given is true, false, or it cannot be determined. So once again, this is Coach Meng. Magandang buhay.